Are y'all gonna call Candace Parker racist too? Hey, yo. Oh, no. Candace Parker versus Angel Reese is getting spicy out here.
And yeah, people aren't happy because Candace Parker is not proclaiming Angel Reese to be the best player in the world. And by the way, Angel Reese was...
Candace Parker just called Angel Reese a C-tier player, and the internet is having a complete meltdown. But the real story isn't the fan outrage. It's why a WNBA legend delivered such a brutal assessment. Parker didn't just share an opinion, she publicly exposed the massive gap between Angel Reese's social media hype and her shocking on-court reality. This wasn't an insult, it was a cold, hard diagnosis of a player who isn't nearly as good as her brand suggests. And when you see the numbers, you'll understand why this single comment ignited a war between a true basketball icon and a modern-day influencer.
Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces, and they're not happy about it. They're going to be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces delegation.
The flashpoint occurred during a segment on Complex Sports, where Candace Parker was tasked with a seemingly simple exercise: rank the WNBA's current players into tiers. At the very top, in the God Tier S category, she placed the league's undisputed titans, Ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart, players with championship rings and MVP trophies to their names. In the A tier just below, she put the game changers, the offensive engines like Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu, who are actively revolutionizing the sport. The list was shaping up to be a standard expert analysis, but then came the moment that stopped everyone in their tracks. When it was time to place Angel Reese, Parker didn't hesitate. She relegated her to the C tier. Not as a rising star, not as an A-list talent, but as a developing player with glaring holes in her game. For Parker, it was an objective assessment based on performance. For Angel Reese and her massive, fiercely loyal fan base, it was an unforgivable act of disrespect.
Candace Parker, a lot of y'all say she's the GOAT, right? 3 championships, 2 MVPs, Rookie of the Year MVP in the same year, and now Candace Parker ain't shit. She tap dancing. We see why Gino and her had the problems they had, and she's a coon and selling out. All this because she don't want to force glaze Bricklayer Reese the way that y'all do.
The reaction didn't take long. While fans went into a frenzy online, the most significant shot was fired by Angel Reese herself. She didn't need to mention Parker by name to make her target clear. She logged on to X, formerly known as Twitter, and posted a short venomous message that was instantly understood by everyone. Clout is one hell of a drug. The implication was as sharp as a dagger. Reese was accusing Candace Parker, a 3-time champion, a 2-time MVP, a future Hall of Famer, of using her name for a desperate grab at attention. With that single passive-aggressive tweet, the conversation was no longer about basketball. It became personal. Reese had drawn her line in the sand, attempting to frame a legend's critique as a pathetic attempt to stay relevant. It was a bold move, but one that would soon backfire in the most spectacular way possible.
Uncle KC was right again? Not only was Uncle KC right, he now has a WNBA legend repeating his brilliant observations of pretend basketball? How many times have I said Angel Reese is not an impact player? I mean, she definitely has an impact on losing, but Angel Reese has absolutely no effect on winning.
Reese's accusation of clout chasing created a staggering irony that exposes the very core of this conflict. Let's seriously consider the two careers. Candace Parker has absolutely nothing to prove to anyone. She is a 3-time WNBA champion, having won titles with 3 different franchises, a historic feat that demonstrates unparalleled adaptability and leadership. She was named League MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season, an accomplishment so rare it's never been repeated. She did this while pregnant with her first child, showcasing a level of mental and physical toughness that is almost superhuman. After conquering the sport on the court, she seamlessly transitioned into a celebrated media career as a lead analyst for TNT, respected for her sharp basketball mind. Candace Parker doesn't need clout. She is the establishment.
Thinking where she put Angel Reese in the C tier has caused a riot. It's caused a riot. Angel Reese is not feeling it. She took to Twitter and fired off a sub. She's subbing, y'all.
Now let's look at Angel Reese. Her entire career, from her championship run at LSU to her WNBA debut, has been built on a foundation of social media savvy and manufactured controversy. Her brand is inextricably linked to the drama she generates, the rivalries she fuels, and the headlines she creates. While she has secured lucrative endorsement deals, her organic reach is questionable. Her own podcast, ironically titled Unapologetic, often fails to crack even 5,000 views per episode, a shockingly low number for someone with millions of followers. Her fame is a product of marketing and online personality. For Angel Reese, a player whose brand is almost entirely dependent on clout, to accuse Candace Parker of chasing it is not just ironic, it's utterly absurd.
These people will disrespect and turn their back on their own family if it means bowing down and defending Angel Reese. These people will abandon their children if it means defending Angel Reese. It's hilarious how anybody that does not force glaze this girl and prop her up.
Angel Reese, clout is one hell of a drug. Like, it really gets to a point. And by the way, this is because a tiny clip of Candace Parker's podcast is this.
No way, shape, or form am a hater. What player are you taking Angel Reese over of those that I just listed?
Parker's C-tier ranking wasn't a random insult. It was a cold surgical diagnosis of Angel Reese's game, and her explanation was even more damning. When asked to elaborate, Parker explained that to be in the A or S tier, a player must be a number 1 or 2 option on their team, someone who can single-handedly carry the offensive load. Then she delivered the killer blow, a backhanded compliment that cut deeper than any insult could. She said that Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. In the world of professional basketball, that is the most polite way of calling a player one-dimensional. She wasn't praising Reese's hustle, she was exposing her limitations. She was saying that Reese isn't a creator, a scorer, or a franchise cornerstone. She is a specialist, a role player. For a player who sees herself as the star of the show, this assessment was nothing short of a public takedown.
And you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level. I think in terms of being above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option. I think Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. She showed and demonstrated so much growth in that first year. I think that this is my tier.
If Parker's words were the accusation, then Angel Reese's own statistics are the irrefutable evidence. Her performance in her sophomore season doesn't just support Parker's critique, it screams it from the rooftops. Reese's field goal percentage has cratered to a dismal 31.1%. To put that in perspective, most competent professional forwards shoot over 45%. Reese is shooting at a level that would get almost any other player benched indefinitely. It means for every 3 shots she puts up, 2 are clanking off the rim. Her turnovers have exploded, nearly doubling from her rookie year to an average of almost 4 per game. She even had 1 game with a staggering 9 turnovers. This isn't the sign of a developing star, it's a 5-alarm fire of regression.
What did Angel Reese have to say? She said clout is one hell of a drug, like it really gets to a point. She also retweeted something somebody said, but that was taken down. That was taken down. Look, Angel Reese ain't happy with Candace Parker, y'all. Angel Reese ain't feeling this. You got me in the C tier. But you know what's crazier? Candace Parker ain't backing down. She's standing on business. She's standing on business, bro. We got to take a look.
And what about the one stat her defenders always cling to, her streak of double-doubles? On the surface, it sounds impressive, but when you dig deeper, the stat loses its shine. A significant portion of Reese's rebounds are gathered from her own constant misses at point-blank range. She shoots, she misses, she grabs the rebound, and it gets logged as a success. In reality, it's just an inefficient player cleaning up her own messes. It's not dominance, it's stat padding born from an inability to finish at the basket. The numbers don't lie, and they paint a grim picture that fully justifies Parker's C-tier ranking.
What player are you taking Angel Reese over of those that I just listed?
Guess we'll wait for their response.
Oh, we're not gonna. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, in what player, and this is no disrespect, these are the greatest players in the game right now. They asked me to rank the tier right now. And I sit in a studio at Turner with Shaq and Chuck, and some of which I think at times they do individually and personally attack people's character. And I think I pride myself on trying to be an analyst that does not do that. I do not attack character. I literally am just, from my point of view, from my opinion, this was the ranking.
Reese's game go beyond her troubling stats. They seep into her on-court demeanor and professionalism. She currently leads the entire WNBA in technical fouls. She is constantly teetering on the edge of a suspension, making her a liability her team can't fully trust in high-pressure moments. This isn't the behavior of a leader. It's the mark of immaturity and a lack of emotional control. The most infamous example of this came during a timeout, where cameras caught her belligerently slapping a clipboard out of her own coach's hands. The act was a shocking display of public disrespect, a gesture that screams, "I am uncoachable." Legends of the game, like Candace Parker, built their careers on a foundation of discipline, respect for the game, and a professional attitude. Reese's on-court antics suggest she lacks the mental composure required to reach that elite level, regardless of her physical talent.
Angel Reese is demanding more money, and if she doesn't get what she wants, then she's willing to sit out this next season along with a lot of other WNBA players. For most of the life of the WNBA, the NBA has subsidized that league 100%. Now it's 50%, but still they're subsidized by the NBA. The WNBA this last year has finally started generating a little revenue of their own, and that's primarily because of one player, and it's not Angel Reese. That one player is Caitlin Clark, and they did everything they could to demoralize and devalue her, while she was the one almost single-handedly bringing value to their league.
If there was any doubt left about Angel Reese's true value in the basketball world, it was erased by a man who deals in dollars and cents, hip-hop icon and Big 3 League founder, Ice Cube. As Caitlin Clark was taking the world by storm, Ice Cube made her a groundbreaking $5 million offer to play in his league. It was a business decision based on her perceived impact. Naturally, the media asked if he would extend a similar lucrative offer to Angel Reese. Ice Cube's response was immediate and brutally honest. He stated that he would not make the same offer because Reese won't have the same impact to the league. This wasn't a rival player or a critical analyst talking. This was a shrewd businessman making a cold calculation. Clark brings viewers, sells tickets, and drives revenue. Her impact is tangible. Reese brings social media buzz and controversy. As Ice Cube's decision proves, in the world of big money sports, hype doesn't cash the same checks as genuine game-changing impact.
Look at all of this. Candace Parker's resume, man. Read it all. All of it. She's jealous of the bricklaying slump because she's breaking records. The bricklayer broke a double-double record that Candace Parker had. And that means she's breaking all of Candace Parker's records. The most pathetic people ever in sports history, bro. And then the bricklaying sloth glazers are posting this too. Check this. This is what the bricklayer sloth glazers are posting to defend Angel Reese over Candace Parker. What the fuck is this?
But business reality and statistical proof mean nothing to those who refuse to see the truth. In the wake of Parker's comments, Angel Reese's fanbase, an army of online glazers, mobilized not with facts, but with pure delusion. Instead of debating her 31% field goal percentage, they created bizarre graphics comparing Reese's rookie season double-double record to Candace Parker's entire historic career, as if one season of stat padding somehow equals a lifetime of championships and MVPs. They branded anyone who agreed with Parker a hater and accused a black WNBA legend of being jealous of a rookie. This is the dark side of influencer culture in sports. It creates a protective bubble around a player where valid criticism is shouted down and objective reality is ignored. They aren't defending a basketball player, they are defending an idol, and they will twist any fact and attack any legend to protect their fantasy.
They asked me my opinion on player tiers, and my thing is then if you bring something to the argument, bring something else. Can she get to player A or player S or whatever? Yes, she can. Yes. Right now, I don't know if she's alongside those players in B's, and you're measuring her against players that have been in the league for years.
Right.
And so I think that, you know, I've faced it on the men's side when people attack you for what you look like or who you are. That's usually not coming with a solid argument. And so I'm willing to debate. I love it. Tell me I'm wrong, but bring facts to the table.
This blind loyalty isn't just about defending Angel Reese. It's about propping her up against the one player who truly exposes her limitations, Caitlin Clark. For the first time in its history, the WNBA is generating significant revenue and attracting mainstream attention almost single-handedly because of Clark. Yet, what has been the response from Reese and her camp? Complaints about WNBA salaries and threats to sit out seasons if they don't get paid more. The hypocrisy is staggering. Reese, who makes millions in endorsements, is demanding a bigger piece of the pie that Caitlin Clark is baking for the entire league. It reeks of entitlement. While Clark endures cheap shots and hard fouls on a nightly basis, being told to toughen up, Reese receives a fraction of that physicality but cries hate at the first sign of criticism. It's a glaring double standard, revealing that this isn't about respect, it's about jealousy over who truly holds the power and influence to grow the game.
Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark. Oh, fuck. It's about to get ugly. With the Big Three's $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark never coming to fruition, could a lucrative Angel Reese proposal be up next for the Hoops League? Tell me you don't know ball. I mean, honestly, don't count on it. TMZ Sports caught up with Ice Cube himself at LAX this week. And the Big Three honcho said that there will be no deal put in front of Angel Reese anytime soon.
This story is no longer just about Candace Parker versus Angel Reese. It has become a battle between two opposing worlds, a world of facts versus feelings, of earned legacy versus manufactured clout, and of real contribution versus empty controversy. Angel Reese stands at a critical crossroads. On one path, she can heed the warnings from a legend like Parker and a businessman like Ice Cube, put her ego aside and dedicate herself to becoming a complete player. On the other, she can continue to surround herself with an echo chamber of fans, lash out at any form of criticism, and watch as her on-court flaws turn her from a potential star into a team liability. The choice is hers. Will Angel Reese be remembered as a champion who evolved, or as an influencer who simply couldn't handle the truth?